So we left off our last podcast by encouraging you to make a difference one heart at a time. We don't want anyone to get overwhelmed in the work and therefore encouraged to quit. We don't want anyone to be encouraged to cut corners or even to skimp on the quality of their ministering. So here's what we do. We reach out in ministry one heart at a time. So we're talking about the benefits of approaching the difference we can make. We do this, again, one heart at a time. The last time we were together, we said it provides a workable ministry model. Ministering to one person is more manageable than to thousands of people at one time. But now, today, we want to talk about the next two benefits. Why do we approach ministry this way? Well, there's a couple of very good reasons. Number 2 in the series here is, you recognize the value of the individual soul. Every single soul is eternal. Every single soul is of the utmost value. When we take on too much, we tend to try to meet the needs of the broader scale and end up missing the individual. When I preach, most of the time I spend time thinking about people as a whole. But when I speak to one person, I can focus on that one person's individual needs. Every person needs something different. Here's the thing. You don't lead a demographic to the Lord. You don't lead an entire nationality to the Lord at one time. You change the world by changing a single person's life, one heart at a time. That's why we have invested in this as our church's way of doing things for 2022. Otherwise, you might leave out people that you don't agree with, the people that you don't necessarily get along with, people that you don't have things in common with. Really, it's an exercise in understanding that no matter who anyone is, they have value. I have a few on my list, a few people that is, that I want to impact. Now here's the deal. I know for a fact they don't necessarily like me. They don't know that I know they don't like me. They smile and they'll say nice things to me, but behind my back, sometimes they don't say the nicest things. But that person is going to stay on my list, and I'm going to continue to care about them. Why? I want to help enhance their life, change their life, encourage their life. Why do I do this? Because that person, that individual soul, is valuable to God, and so therefore they are valuable to me. Every soul is of the utmost value. How else does ministering to one heart at a time help us? Well, number 3 would be this. You are engaging in a more effective style of ministry. One-on-one ministry will always be a more effective route. A person is more at ease when it's one-on-one. They are not put on the spot as much as if they're in a crowd with other people. A person is more open to what you might have to say as long as it's one-on-one. The encounter is so much, it diffuses the tension, you might say, especially when you have a relationship with the person you're speaking to. They'll listen more. A person is more free to respond in a one-on-one setting. In order to minister effectively, you have to, number 1, know the person you're ministering to. This is why it's so important to have a relationship with them. You need to know them the best you can. No doubt Jesus knew the people he was ministering to. This gave him a distinct advantage in being a world changer. Try to engage with them through establishing and maintaining this relationship. We ask questions. We connect with these folk. Learn how best to minister to that age group. You cannot affect a teen the same way that you would affect a senior person. You cannot affect a child the same way that you would affect a middle-aged person. At this particular point in my life, I just finished reading a book that is entitled The Psychology of Preaching. This book has not only reestablished in my mind the need to know the person that I am ministering to, but to know what makes them tick. to know what a person that is going through at their age and at their level, to know what cares and concerns they have in their own personal life. Well, chapter 1 of that same book is all about learning the difference in the age groups. Learn so that you can better minister to them. It is not a waste of time at all. Just because we have lived doesn't mean that we know people and we know where they are in their lives. Learn how to connect with everyone. It will be worth the time you invest. One of my favorite book titles, I've read this book several times, is this: Everyone communicates, but few connect. One thing that I don't see very much of is seniors talking effectively with ordinary teens on down. I don't all the time see teenagers connecting well with middle-aged people. It really seems that every age sort of gets into their own age group and stays within their own bounds. But here's the problem with that: it limits ministry and effectiveness greatly. My encouragement is this: we were put on this earth to be a world changer. Let's be, in 2022, the world changer that we were created to be, one heart at a time.